Hey viewers, what's going on? As you can see, I'm wearing a Jason mask. But the main reason why I'm wearing it is because I'm going to be talking about some horror movies with you. Um, okay. Now, many of you know that that Halloween 1978 was the best horror movie of its time, and still is. And I quote from the back of the DVD. It says, one of the scariest movies of all time," which is pretty awesome. And it's the 25th anniversary edition, so that's why it says that. But it's pretty awesome the because as you all know, if you took the quiz in October, that one of the original names of that movie was known as Babysitter Murders, which is not necessarily very accurate, seeing as the fact that he had seeing as he was mainly just going after his sister. But it was only accurate because Annie, the one of the main characters, Laurie's like best friend, uh, Sheriff Brackett's daughter, um, was also babysitting that night. So I guess that's what can lead you to believe that it was um a good name for it at the time. But I'm glad they changed it to Halloween because then, I mean, if it was named Babysitter Murders, he can murder any day of the year. But Halloween makes it so that way he can only murder on Halloween night, which is basically what he does. And thereby saying, uh, this movie is basically more of that night. It says more of the night he came home, um, on the cover, and we all know the story. Michael is searching for Laurie, and we all know that she went off to the hospital, right? And he finds her at the hospital and tries to kill her. She kills everybody in the hospital except her, Loomis, and one of the doctors, and they get out alive. But Loomis is severely damaged from that night, and Michael is burned to death. And, well, or so we think. We all know that in number 4, he comes back and he's severely burned. He had been for 10 years, but we all know that he survived. Um, Next movie I have here is the Halloween Collection. It's the 3-film set. It's got H2O, Resurrection, and Curse of Michael Myers. Curse of Michael Myers, I think, is 6, which comes after it comes after it comes after Revenge of Michael Myers, and then there's H2O, then Resurrection. I don't know why they have it out of order, but they do. They really do. H2O basically is what it entails. It's Halloween 20 years later, which is where we find Strode in this prep school randomly somewhere. It's like in California, I think. And she's known as Carrie Tate, I think. Yeah, and she's got a new life now, got a boyfriend, got a kid herself, 17 years old, and her brother actually finds her and tries to do away with her again. Um, and she, throughout this time, has developed, how shall we put this? She she has, I'm just gonna say it. She has way more balls than she did before. Um, she in the first and second movie, she ran from him. In this movie, she takes an axe and goes for him. That's awesome. Um, she holds it. She runs toward him, screams in the prep school while it's just her and Michael. Michael! Throughout the whole place, she's holding it. The music is playing, and then all of a sudden we see him. She hits him once. He catches the thing, drops it. He literally has it for like 5 seconds. No, she literally had the thing for that long and only used it for 5 seconds. not 5 seconds, at least like 3 seconds, and it was like horrible. And basically, through the rest of that time, she tries to escape, and knowing that she is pretty much going to die at this point. And after which comes Resurrection, where, as we all know, is the last movie in the series. Because a bunch of stuff happens, which is like Michael gets electrocuted, he gets hung, he gets set on fire again. He gets shot, I think. I think so. No, he doesn't get shot. And he gets sent to the coroner's room, where, as we all know, his eyes open. So we know crap was about to go down. He looked pretty charred. And as we all know, it wasn't necessarily that, it wasn't that fun for him, because he finally kills his sister at the end, and he finally kills his sister in the beginning, I'm sorry, and he makes it back to his house, where he finds a film crew, and he's not very happy, so he decides to kill them off. At first, it's just Busta Rhymes that's like in his costume, but then it goes out to be then Michael actually starts coming out for some fun. He starts actually killing the people, whereas Busta Rhymes was basically just out there to scare them, and like take them into separate areas. They pretty much like planted all this crap into Michael's house. None of it was actually real. It's just sad, because I thought that was really cool how they had all that stuff there. I saw it for the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then they're like, you planted this stuff, didn't you? Yeah. Crap! I wanted all that stuff to actually be in there. But we all know that's not the story. He was actually a very loved kid. He just went wacky. Oh yeah, and before H2O, the movie right before it is Curse of Michael Myers, which, yes, it has Donald Pleasence, but this is the one he dies in. Michael returns, and this time Jamie is in the hands of the Shade, and she gives birth, and the kid pretty much ends up in Tommy's hands, as we all remember from the kid from number 1. He ends up in Tommy's hands, and at this point, Jamie's dead. She's dead. And Michael comes after Tommy and Jamie's baby, and I don't know who else. There's like this random woman, but I don't really know who the woman is. I haven't really seen the movie all the way through yet. I've seen the beginning and I've seen the end. That's pretty much it. The middle is kind of blank for me. But basically the idea is that he is cursed by something called Thorn, what Tommy says, and basically that makes you kill your whole family. Which is interesting. And we see it on his arm too. It's like a triangle and then like a line under it. It's the line looks like a witch hat. It looks like a witch's hat. I'm not even kidding, but it's like upside down, I think. And basically that means you have to kill your family, your whole family. That's the idea of what Thorn is. And Michael really pulls off this kill in this one, because he takes out Loomis in this time. Loomis dies, he does not. I was really sad about that, because Loomis was awesome. He was like one of my favorite characters in the entire series of these movies, and he always kept my interest. He's like, I love his infamous quote. I met him 15 years ago. When I first met him, this 6-year-old boy, there was no reason, no emotion, just simply, purely evil. I spent 7 years trying to reach him. No, 8 years trying to reach him, and then there's 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized it was lying behind those eyes those black eyes was purely and simply evil, which was by far my favorite quote out of the entire movie. It was my favorite quote out of all the movies by far. Um, I mean, it makes a lot of sense though. It's like basically portrays the actual evil that goes behind a bunch of the killers that are around. This is part one of my horror movie collection, so I am going to be having two other parts. This part was mainly just about the Halloween movies, and the next one's gonna be about this one was about John Carpenter's. But the next one is going to be about Rob Zombies, and then the next ones after that is going to be like three random horror movies. Well, one's a horror movie, the other two are just like scary movies. So that's pretty much all I have time for today. So, like and favorites and subscribe, and tell me what you want me to rate next, and maybe I will. This is Baloney Man signing out.